What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today's video we're going to talk about my coon hunting gear list. Gear list, as you've seen from the thumbnail picture, there's a lot of different kind of things going on out here. So we'll just start off from right from the rip. We'll start off with what I track dogs with. I track dogs with the dogtra unit. So this is the Dogtra 1 Pathfinder SE. This is a great product, highly recommend it. On my coon hunting collars I run this light, so this light blinks, it stays on. It's really bright and you can see the dogs from quite a ways off in the woods with that light on there. So throw some lights on there. I got two add collars. One of them I have set up for a small dog. If you guys want a video on how to set up a full size collar for a small dog, just drop a comment down there and I will make that happen for you guys. Okay, so another thing that I have that goes along with the Dogtra stuff is the tablet. So I run it on my tablet or my cell phone, so that's pretty handy to do that. So you guys might want to check out getting one of them if you are running the Dogtra stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the light situation. Trigger light. A good old trigger light will take you so much farther, and it's super inexpensive, super cheap. Throw a lanyard on that thing, and I got the one that has the red cap to remove. There's some that actually have different color modes, different brightness modes. I mean, there's a lot going on here with these trigger lights, and I just like having them. Sometimes they get cumbersome and clunky, but for all in all, a cheap, inexpensive way to get yourself some eyes seen in that tree, go with the trigger light stuff. Okay, so next here on the light list, we're going to talk about my cap light. I have a review of this on my channel. I'll link that in the description too. But this has been a pretty handy light. I haven't had this light on for 6 or 8 months, and it's still got battery in it, so that's pretty good about that on the battery. Alright, so let's talk about some other things like the Coon squaller and the laser pointer. Okay, so this little cheap laser pointer, I picked that up for like $1. But for me, I don't ever need a laser to point because I'm usually in the woods by myself. I'm not going to laser point and say, hey, he's right there, But the Coon squaller is definitely a good plus up tier 2. These are the most forgotten items on my list. I forget these at the house. I forget I even have them on me when I'm in the woods. But this Coon squaller will get you some eyes. And I've actually called a fox in with Coon squaller before. So, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of benefits to having yourself a Coon squaller and a little laser pointer. Also, grab yourself some of those. Again, throw them on a lanyard, right? So, lanyards are just extra hands at this point. So, one big thing that I kind of went out of my way to get in this video was these collars with the circle on them. I have talked about these collars 3 or 4 or 5 times on my channel, but I've never went and actually dug them out of my boxes and stuff. But this time I did. These collars are just like the nylon collars. They're reflective, super durable. This collar is 3 or 4 years old at this point. The other collar that I got out here, this collar is 12 or 15 years old at this point. It has been through multiple dogs. It has been through multiple pups. It has been in the woods, a lot, right? Still going strong, still a good collar. And then, you can get the nameplates put on these. So definitely suggest this collar. These collars are what you want. These are the only collars that I will run on a hunting dog because they're just what you need, right? They're exactly what you need. Okay, so to pair up with those is going to be this flat leash. And this flat leash, I've had talked about this on the channel before too. It's got the slip ring on it, right? So we can take this end, put it around a tree, cinch it up, and then we have the other clip on the other side to clip on the dog. You can also get split leads to clip on here, so you can run 2 dogs on 1 leash. Flat leash, I have been a flat leash guy since I got into coon hunting. Since I got into hunting dogs in general, the flat leash has always been my go-to. This time around, when I went and grabbed a new one, I decided to go and get this cable leash. Now this cable leash, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the same exact setup as the flat leash, except for I don't like that it has these, right? So these are actually pretty kind of rigid and pretty kind of sharp, and they can pinch you. So this leash has gotten me a couple times. I don't know if I'll go with the cable style again, but cable style leash or flat style leash or a half flat, half chain, it doesn't matter as long as it's got that slip ring on it to go around a tree and leash your dog back. That's definitely something that you want to be getting into. All right, so let's talk about the first little item of clothing here that I'm going to talk about is we're just going to talk about these long johns, right? Everybody knows what long johns are, thermals, long johns. Super inexpensive, super cheap. They will keep you in the woods for so much more time, especially in the colder weather. And you can get away with running long johns and blue jeans in the woods and be just fine. So I would highly recommend getting yourself some thermals that go on for your legs and for your upper body there. So a nice waffle knit, long sleeve thermal or anything like that to go underneath your hoodies and things like that. When we get into the woods, especially in the colder weather, sometimes it's just appropriate to throw thermals on under our regular clothes and go hunting that way. Other times we need to gear up and get a little bit more, into it and get a little bit more warm. Next thing I'm going to talk about here is my chaps. Okay, so I recently picked these up not too long ago. Super inexpensive chap by Game Hide. Really good material. I like these. Again, I haven't ran these too much. I haven't really ran a lot of chaps or dealt with anything like that. I tended to always just like to stick with my blue jeans, but them are a great benefit, especially when you get in pricker thickets and things like that. Them will keep them off of you. So definitely look at getting some chaps or some waders, right? So next step here, we're going to talk about the coat. So the coat is a Realtree coat. This is a winterized Realtree coat from Walmart. Again, another super inexpensive item. Lots of big pockets on it, extra pockets on it. So that's what we're going to look for, something that's warm. Going to have not all the pockets that we need. Really big pockets go a long way, especially when we're hunting and we need to put stuff in our pockets and things like that. So some gloves, right? So these are just another cheap little Walmart item. Walmart glove, and they have fleece insulation, the Realtree. These have saved me in the woods quite a few times. Keep your hands free till you get too cold. Put your gloves on, and they'll take you a little bit farther. So definitely pick your guys' self up some decent gloves. Let's talk about backpacks. Okay, so bags. This is the recent addition to my whole get up here. Is this bag? This is a huge bag. I mean, this bag is gigantic. You could probably fit 2 or 3 coons in this bag, and a whole lot of gear. So getting yourself a decent bag is probably something that you really want to look at. And then here again, I have another bag over here. I got the smaller bag, right? So the smaller bag, a little bit lighter pack, not so cumbersome, not so hard to deal with in the woods. Definitely get you done. Definitely could fit you a coon or 2 in here if you really shoved them in there, depending on how big they are. Well, definitely get you packed around. And like I said, we're adding hands with the bags and the lanyards, things like that. That adds hands to us. So let's jump into the boot situation. So I just got me some Georgia boots from Tractor Supply. I mean, these things are pretty old, but they are still good to go. These are great, phenomenal boots to get in the woods. I have had plenty of miles in the woods on these, and I do just fine. If we're looking at a little bit warmer, it's a little bit drier out, these will probably get you done just fine. If we're not planning on hunting anywhere that's got any creeks or rivers or big standing piles of water, get your feet wet, these are perfectly fine, and they'll probably you probably walk a lot longer time in these boots. So definitely just a good pair of work boots that are waterproof will get you done and get you by. Next thing here too is going to be just the knockoff Walmart cheapo muck boots. These are great, man. I ran these so much I've just about ran them in the ground. These are phenomenal. The only drawback is I bought the short boot. I should have bought the taller boot, but again, it's all personal preference. This has definitely been a huge saver in the woods. Muck boots go a long ways, so definitely invest yourself some muck boots. They don't always have to be the big $200-300 boots, and that's what I've said a lot on the channel. Is you don't have to have $400 or $500-600 equipment to get out there and go hunting, because all in all, at the end of the day, that $400 pair of boots isn't going to treat that coon for you. So the next little deal here I got is these dry code boots. I picked these up on Amazon. Again, another really inexpensive item. A reinforced toe, super rugged bottom, a really good boot, really warm. I got the tall this time. The only gripe that I've had about these boots, and I don't know if my boot's a defect or what, but they have this seam that goes up the back here, and right here at the heel there's like a lump of threads that rubs on my heel. But it's only in one boot, and all in all, I'm not gonna let that knock the boot. It's got this nice little thing on the back. You can kick your boots off. So again, another decent muck boot, just a different little bit size. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to talk about the gun that I run. So again, another inexpensive Walmart item. This is a 22 long rifle gun. It is probably less than 150 bucks for the gun and the scope together on it. So this is a Savage model 62. Savage 62 is what this is. I believe it's a 62F or something like that. But just a little 10 clip gun, semi-automatic, 22. It gets you in the woods, get some stuff knocked down, 3x9 scope on it. Definitely help you out and get you out there and run the 22 calibers just fine. I have shot, I don't know how many coons down with the 22. But there you guys go. That's my gear list. Don't forget to hit a like, and don't forget to get down there and drop me a comment and subscribe to the channel, man. We're going to get there. We're going to hit 1,000 soon, and you guys are going to go with me. Thanks for tuning in, and keep them treed.